and welcome to their Saturday morning Samoflange. I'm Matt.
Saturday morning Samoflange.
Whoa, you're back!
Benjamin is here.
You came back! I'm sorry.
I'll be back.
I'm not alone.
We're going to keep running this theme of me being your imaginary friend.
There you are, Peter.
Oh, there you are, Peter.
You're like you're the Mr. Snuffleupagus to my Big Bird.
Oh my God. That is the best compliment I've ever got in my life. Somebody called me Mr. Snuffleupagus instead of Big Bird for a change. That's nice. Thank you.
Yay! Yay! People call him Big Bird because he is yellow. No, he's very tall. Benjamin's like one of the few, well, I say few people, but nowadays, have you seen kids, man? They're like tall.
Kids today, growing them big.
Seriously, there's one kid that graduated college last year. I have to look up to him.
Look, have you been in those like old antebellum style like plantation houses?
Oh yeah, they're super small.
And they're just so tiny and you hit your head on everything. Like you're what, 6'2", 6'3"?
Yes, I'm just shy of 6'3".
And so but yeah, you had to duck probably in every doorway.
Yes, I did. Every doorway.
And I'm 6'6", and that stuff just ain't that's why I don't like being on the East Coast. Because there's so many buildings.
So small.
Yeah, I don't like New York, and I don't like Boston, and cities like that are just tiny. Like if you go in the city, like those old classic buildings, they're just so small and cramped, and I just feel awful. But yeah, nowadays, like this is the NFL rules the world in America, so we grow them big here.
We're Gandalf living in hobbit holes.
Yeah, I empathize with that poor man hitting his head on that banister.
Shoot, I'm like the stormtrooper in New Hope, hanging his head on the doorway.
You know, I am still so shocked how many people have never seen that. Every time I show Star Wars to anyone or watch,
everyone missed that.
Like, or if
you don't see it.
If I just like, let's watch Star Wars. Like, I don't know how many people you know about the stormtrooper, right? What do you mean? It's like, you don't know about this? And you know, show it to them and they lose it. I showed it to Kristen recently. Like, she just lost it. She's like, rewind it. Because they added in the sound effect.
Effect, yes.
And then like, okay, so people, I must know about it now because the sound effect wasn't there before.
No.
And when did they put that in? Like, special releases?
I want to say probably in the 1997 edition.
You think so?
That's when I first remembered it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
being added.
All I know is that it wasn't there before, and
But anyway, that's a good one. No. There's other things that you hear about you think that can't be true. Like, we're not going to go too much into it, but Teen Wolf. You know?
Let's not go too much into it. Let's leave it right there.
I was like,
today is episode 170. And don't IMDb Teen Wolf trivia facts. And we're going to talk about Al Pacino today.
There's something... And I want to say on a Samoflange a long time ago, and I doubt there's anyone who's been listening long enough to tell me this, but back in the day, I almost believe this was a topic because I have CJ and Mikey on the show. Of course, they're going to talk about it. And so we call it, TWD, and that's not The Walking Dead.
Nope.
Stands for Teen Wolf something. But anyway, we're talking about it. Well, the thing is, we
talked about this on Samoflange during top 5 theater moments, right?
Did we? Oh yeah, because they have the B Author Award, which is a unicorn named B Author. Yeah. And I challenged Mikey to do the Teen Wolf ending because he was just going to be back in the way back.
Do it.
And he wouldn't. I said, if you do it, as I am your witness.
Undisputed king.
I said, and we text CJ. I said, CJ, if he does this, does he get the B Author back? CJ goes, not only does the B Author get back, he said, but we retire it. That's what he said. He said, we officially retire it.
I just had thought about that. Like, does the guy who did it actually, does he call that on his buddies all the time? He's like, look, bro, I'm TWD. You can't argue with me. I did it. You know, does he still hold a crown somewhere among his friends?
The B Author Award would no longer be contested. It's what CJ said.
Yeah.
According to CJ, it would no longer because right now Mikey said, I don't know how I can beat CJ because CJ teabagged the bronze statue of B Author somewhere.
I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah, I know. But anyway, Mikey can't figure out how he can beat us at Teen Wolf. I mean, you got Teen Wolf it, and then CJ. Anyway, you know what? I'm talking about this again.
Was Al Pacino in Teen Wolf?
Let's talk about our top 5 Al
Okay.
Pacino moments.
This is going to be a shorter episode.
You say a
for
shorter
those-
episode because you're not a big Al Pacino fan.
Yes.
That's amazing
Look,
to me.
that's not entirely true. I am an Al Pacino fan.
Okay.
Of his acting. I don't know the man personally. I am a fan of anything I have seen clips of him doing.
Okay.
But his movies,
Not as much.
not nearly as much.
Okay. So that being said, how much crossover do you think we have?
I think we have zero crossover.
I'm gonna say at least one.
You think so?
I think so.
All right.
All right. So we'll go. I'll go first.
Please.
I'll go first. Oh, dog! I almost want. I have one honorable mention. I'm going to mention it later because I don't want to spoil someone. Yeah, well, that's my
honorable mention.
That's my honorable mention.
But wait a minute.
What if my honorable mention? No, my honorable mention will not be one. Well, I don't know.
Let me go back. Then, in that case, so to reciprocate, are you a big Al Pacino fan?
It wasn't hard for me to make this list.
Really?
He's not someone that always brings you to theaters, but he raises my eyebrow of interest.
Meaning, when you were making this list, were you like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom?
It was pretty easy.
And number 1, easy, clear cut.
Hold on,
number
let me
2,
see.
Boom. Because I usually struggle.
Yes, I knew my top 5. I didn't know what order. And then when I looked through the movies, I saw another movie I liked, and that became my honorable mention.
So it was easy to make this. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was easy. All right, but I'm going to give honorable mention later, just in case. I randomly picked this one. Number 5 is what probably everyone else would put as number 1.
Really?
Well, I say everyone who's an Al Pacino fan.
Okay.
Scarface.
I knew that was on the list. Of course, it can't not be. But number 5.
It's a great movie.
Okay.
I wouldn't put it number 1.
Okay.
I think he's done better. Now, that's where me and the whole world disagrees.
All right.
Because everyone loves Stark. And you know what? They should love Scarface. They absolutely should love Scarface. Scarface is a lot of fun. It's a great story. Man who comes from nothing and becomes a hero. It's a good one. Al Pacino's done better since he's gotten older as an actor. He's just he's just matured better as an actor.
Wow.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie. He's great in it. And that's why it's my number 5.
What makes you say, though, that he's gotten better as an actor? Because do you feel like older Pacino would have delivered that role differently?
I mean, well, you'd have to have a younger Pacino play it, obviously. Sure. But no,
let's say they CG'd him younger.
He's playing the tough guy. He's doing the tough guy, the tough guy Scarface.
Right.
And the character's one-dimensional in a way.
Yes.
Again, I love the movie, but the character's just Tony Montoya,
right.
Whatever. Anyway, he's a one-dimensional character. That's all you need. But at the same time, I think a new Al Pacino would have added a few layers. Okay. The actor would have added layers to him that he didn't have back then that he does now.
And I can appreciate that.
I can explain when I talk about other movies.
What do you mean?
When I talk about other movies I like, I'll explain how he's matured.
Oh, okay.
But that's why. Now that is what would be a lot of people's number 1.
Well, yeah.
And I can appreciate that. It's obviously the most famous, and it's great. But I just think he's done better since then, and I love that movie. I can't tell you enough. I like Scarface. Scarface is fine. So what's your number 5?
I'm pulling up my Pacino now. Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll give it to you now. Ready?
Go for it.
Matt, you're my friend.
I'm listening.
I hope we can still be friends.
I don't know.
I have never seen an Al Pacino movie in my life.
What?
Not one.
So you don't have any?
I don't have any.
You've never seen any of these?
And that's what I wanted to talk about, is that I went through his list on IMDb.
And you haven't seen a single one?
I've never seen any of these movies.
Okay, well, let me tell you.
I have, of course, seen clips of Scarface. I have, of course, seen clips of The Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
I have, of course, seen clips of some of these other movies. Never have sat and watched a single one of them.
That's kind of crazy to me because he's like in everything.
That's what I realized, though.
Do you watch Robert De Niro? Because he does De Niro movies constantly. No. Wow.
I mean, not really. They're not at all.
So they're not your taste of movie.
No,
okay, there you go.
No. Because the last episode, we talked about how certain actors and actresses, you see their name on the marquee or in a commercial, and you're just like instantly like, oh, don't know what that's about, but they're in it, so I'm going. No, never have felt that way about Pacino
Wow.
or De Niro. I mean,
So
but love what I've seen. Like I've seen more De Niro movies. I've seen some of his stuff. Not a gigantic fan of his either, or the types
De,
of movies.
De Niro, I probably could pick some, but at the same time, I didn't do De Niro because he's good with an ensemble, and I kind of thought about that. Like I'm not, I always love to see him in there, but I don't know if he works by himself. I don't know if he carries his own. I don't know. Anyway, that's when we'll talk about De Niro and maybe. Well, we won't. I'm sorry. I didn't know you weren't about. See, we don't talk about the top five. We
No,
told you
we
this,
don't
folks.
talk about it. I know.
So just like you don't talk about Fight Club. So we didn't talk about what? What? Huh? So this is interesting. Well, should I give you your? I think you.
I wanted to give you the platform to be able to talk about it with a guest.
I'm wondering.
That
I'm
was my
wondering.
point
Well,
for today.
now I gotta think. Would something like Scarface hold up for you
I don't know.
today?
I don't know.
It's got that 1980 feel.
Because people don't really talk about Scarface either. Like
I'll be honest. Scarface
it's 1983, so it's like not a lot of people are watching it today. People
Right.
have seen it, or they think they've seen it.
That's true. Say hello to my little friend.
That's it. And
Right.
they've got a T-shirt, but they don't know what it's from. That's what I think.
It's true.
And so, like,
Could
I'm
be.
not trying to sound like an old man here.
No. I get that.
It's an 83 movie that's not replayed that often.
Very, very young.
It's R. It's rated
got
R
a very
in the
young.
80s, and like that was a hard R.
Oh my gosh, I forgot the girl in it. She's famous. Sharon Stone, right? Young Sharon Stone.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer. Excuse me. You're right.
Yeah.
Very young and attractive Michelle Pfeiffer in that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what do you?
So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Do you think Scarface would hold up today as a
movie? I think so, because it's an 83 movie and it feels like the 80s for sure. Like what would a rich person want to look like in the 80s? It definitely gives you that.
John Kreese.
For that reason, it's good. Wow, this is interesting. Which one of these would I recommend?
That was going to be one of my questions. Which one would you recommend that I watch?
I wouldn't recommend. It's not my top 5, folks. Heat. It used to be, and it would have been. And then I watched Heat again and realized Heat is 3 hours of just them talking.
Oof.
And not much happening till the end. The action's at the very end. I'm like, wait a minute. I remember this being a lot better. Not that it sucked, but I was like, huh. It's just nothing happens in Heat till the very end. And Val Kilmer's in the middle of the poster, and he's hardly a character.
It's like
I talked about this when I reviewed Val Kilmer. Now that I remember, but even though Pacino,
that's a dream as any profession, right? Any profession. I've thought about this a lot. Well, I don't know why. I used to have a lot of really boring jobs, but I thought to myself, what job could I do that would be fun, that I wouldn't have to work very hard, and that I could get paid a ton of money? And if I had any talent notwithstanding or whatever, I could do whatever I wanted and just start over and be a professional at it. And my answer was professional baseball relief pitcher, because you get all the glory if you win. They make tons of money, and you have to work like an inning or two.
Yeah,
and
there you go.
Like, that's a fantastic job. I can't think of anything better than that. So, but that's the thing. Like for an actor, you get front and center on the poster, and you're in like a day's worth of work.
But he's really not in that much.
Fame, and you get a huge chunk of change to use your face.
Yeah, and it more focuses on Al Pacino and Robert De Niro's characters, which is the cop gets the bad guy. And there's a great scene with De Niro and Pacino in the diner talking to each other. Like, I'm going to get you.
I know the classic.
Come get me.
Yeah.
And that's great.
I've seen it. It's one of the best things I've ever seen acting-wise, because they sit there and they give each other the look, and you can't. Yeah. It's undeniable. Like,
and there's
here's I'm sorry. Here's my new litmus test for great movie scenes. If you can watch it on mute and still completely understand what's happening, that to me is one of my new categories of classifying stuff and how good it is. Because I recently saw an article about how Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark is a perfect movie if you because if you mute Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark, the only scene where you were lost as a viewer is when they are talking about the Ark when the army shows up, the two
Right.
guys, and they're in there, and he's pointing at stuff on the blackboard. But even then, he's drawing things out. But that's the only part of the movie that you can't quite follow because you need dialogue. The rest of it, you have character setup, you have motivation, you have cinematography, and everything is the story is told just from setting up the shot by Spielberg's most probably his greatest work. And the whole story is told with no sound, no color. You don't need anything. You could watch it in black and white, muted, and somebody did that. Like, I don't know, for an art project or something. I don't
Yeah.
know what it was, and it was magnificent.
Yeah.
And I totally
That's when you know
agree.
it's a good film. Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah, and that scene in Heat, you don't even need the dialogue to see what's happening there.
Yeah,
You can
that's
tell what's going on even with that scene. But
Al
it is
Pacino,
pretty
baby.
damn good with dialogue though.
It is, and there's some great scenes where nothing really happens.
Yeah.
But even Al Pacino, he couldn't get Al Pacino on Al Pacino's list either. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go ahead and mention my honorable mention because
Yeah.
I thought that I didn't know, but Two for the Money is I want to say about sports agents. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I just remember loving it when I watched it. I need to watch it again. That's why it's an honorable mention. I don't remember that much of it, but I remember enjoying it. Matthew McConaughey,
Yep, that's another one I just decided to pass on.
Matthew McConaughey.
He
I'm not a big
never
fan of all his stuff, but there's a few things I think he's pretty solid
like
in.
what?
Wolf of Wall Street,
Okay.
newer one there.
McConaughey,
I liked.
I put him in the same category as Tom Cruise. For me, it's just McConaughey being McConaughey, and he's good.
No, McConaughey just plays
He's
McConaughey
just
most
the
times.
same
You're
guy,
right.
and I believe he's probably like a lot of his characters in real life. I don't see that as a good actor. The dude's got some washboard abs that girls like to look at, and he takes his shirt off in every movie he's in, and like, good for you. And he's a sexy dude, but I don't really see any range here happening.
No, he has one character and he plays it, and it just depends on where.
Doesn't Pacino do the same?
What he puts him in.
Would you argue with me there?
Pacino is more of being typecast.
You think?
I believe
They
so
write
because
those
he
roles for him.
does the cops and robbers and gangsters things, and that started from
Godfather
and moved on,
I guess
where he
it's-
plays in the villain. So I think he's more of a
Yeah.
type, but I'm saying happily typecast.
You think so?
That's his strength. That's what he wants to.
Mm.
Oh heck, what's his name from Goodfellas? Megan loves that guy. Ray Liotta.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on, Ray Liotta lives gangster.
Yeah.
Okay, but he loves those movies and he's good at them.
That's
So
fine.
why not go with what you love? And I like Ray Liotta too, but I'll be honest, his top 5 is going to be all gangster movies because that's really what he loves doing.
That's all I can think of.
But he's good at them. He's good at the gangster movies. He's got the look. He's got the charm for it.
If you enjoy it, that's another thing altogether because, John Hamm got his start with Mad Men, and he was basically an unknown before Mad Men. And after that show wrapped, he told his agent, "It's like, no more drama. I'm done." And he's only done comedy since. And
trying to do something, trying to bust out of the role.
No, it's not that at all. He got seriously depressed and just couldn't handle being in it because the writing's so heavy, and he had to draw on so much personally to play that part for so long, and it killed him. And he was like, "I'm done with that." So he plays stupid stuff now.
Well, see, you got John Wayne, the Duke.
John Wayne,
who plays John Wayne,
I think, is John Wayne. Like,
yeah,
he is only that
I know.
guy. Like,
but
all
you got
the
guy,
time.
but he's good.
No, he's not good.
You don't like him. Whoa,
Guy.
you don't like John Wayne?
No, he's that guy, and people like to watch certain people because they're charismatic or they're funny or whatever. McConaughey, I like watching McConaughey because he's McConaughey. But
I thought it was because of his washboard abs.
That too, but it's like it's like you see, okay, where's he going to take his shirt off? Here we go, and then all the girls swoon, and then you just kind of look around the room sheepishly. And but the point is,
man, that could be said for a lot of these people. Like,
right?
Okay, but keep going. Yeah.
But there's some people, and I'm not bemoaning this. I'm just saying that I don't classify people as a good actor or actress just because they're
good
fun
at one
to
character.
look at or fun to just watch them be themselves. That's not acting. That's just a charismatic person. Tom Cruise is famous, especially on inside circles, infamous, whatever, for having an intense powerful connection with almost anyone he meets, because when you meet Tom Cruise, he's going to shake your hand, he's going to look you right in the
And,
eye, and he's going to be up in your
and
face, and he's going to concentrate on every word that comes out of your mouth, and he's going to draw power out of you, and he's famous for that, and that comes off somehow on the screen.
I guess it boils down to do you like that one character they do?
No,
Do
I like that person?
Do you like the Pauly Shore Weasel character?
Exactly.
Do you like
Pauly Shore is Pauly Shore?
Pauly Shore is Pauly Shore. Do you like the what's the other character who he does it at the same time every way? Matthew from Friends. He's Chandler. He's Chandler in every movie.
Yeah,
he's Chandler in everything.
Yeah,
That's just who he's going to be. If he stops being Chandler, like, why is Chandler being so serious?
Yeah.
And I don't like Chandler at the beginning.
Right.
I don't think he's that good of a character. But the thing is, though, he's Chandler in he does his one thing.
Then,
people love that character.
But then,
and it works in some things.
People like David Schwimmer try so hard not to be Ross, but they can't.
It's hard. However, what was that Army movie? He played
was Band of Brothers. He played.
He was good.
He was very good, but it sure was hard not to see Ross and to hear him.
It was, but at the same time, that was the only time he felt different.
Agreed. And
hold on, stop.
This is what I wanted to do. I knew full well going into this episode that I had no Pacino for you, but this is what I had planned.
Stop. I want to. We may want to make a top 5 out of this, because top 5 times people broke out of their role and surprised you.
David Schwimmer would not be in my top 5, but
I don't know, because he broke out, and for me, he broke out of his role. But
I'm gonna write it down.
Well, yeah, okay. I'm thinking of people on the top of my head here, because I was about to make some more analogies there, but I was like, whoa, wait. Top 5 times actors surprised you. Because either you didn't think they had that range, or they were much better than what you thought they were.
I'm getting some instantly coming to minds as well.
I'm getting a ton of these.
That's a new.
That's what we'll do.
Put that one on the list.
That's what we'll do. Okay, so let me go ahead. We've rambled long enough. Let me go ahead and give my rest of my top 4, and we'll go home. All right. So
I gotta go home.
I gotta go home.
I lived here.
We're coming. As long as I stay asleep, we're still here. So let's see. Wouldn't it be awful if people found out that I was just doing your impression right now? It's just me here. I guess we could talk at the same time. Anyway. All right, so here we go. I'll go ahead and give the rest of mine, because he doesn't care. But folks, if you
I do care.
I
think the guy's a brilliant actor. I think he's great at what I've seen, but I have never seen one of the movies.
All right, well,
I've seen clips.
I'll go through these. Of course, I talked about this during Keanu Reeves, and Devil's Advocate is number 4. He played. It's hard to play.
Was that the movie that scared you as a kid?
Yeah, it's one of the few movies that freaked me out.
Yeah.
Just some of the scenes and stuff. I was like, ooh.
And knowing you, I can't imagine there are very many movies that would scare you.
I can't remember, but I don't remember what happens, but something is just really freaky. And he plays the devil, and he's really good.
And I've seen that. I've seen that clip, and I was like,
really
wow,
good.
That was powerful.
He's really good. He plays the devil. He's trying to make sense and kind of just, he's, okay, when you find it, I'm the devil, but is that a bad thing? Why is that bad? Why do you think that's bad? I mean, just really questions Keanu Reeves' character and everything about, kind of normalizes and goes, this is the world. Are you a little baby or something? I was like, is it
a morality movie?
In a way, but I don't know. For something about it, I just really enjoy it. Now, I don't know if I could talk much about this anyway, because I did talk about it when I was talking about Keanu Reeves movies. I talked all about Al Pacino's scenes. So I think everyone knows why I like this movie. I'll just say that it did I knew it would make my top 5 when I started talking about it, but I was shocked it didn't make it higher. But then I realized there are 3 other movies I absolutely love with Al Pacino, and one of them is kind of a comedy, and it's not one that anyone is thinking about. It's not any guest star appearance on an Adam Sandler film. It is, which everyone makes fun of. I can't remember some of his corny attempts at humor. If you want to see his humor, when he's not, it was all done supposed to be slapstick, and I totally forgot he was in this until I rewatched the movie. Fantastic movie. Have you ever seen Dick Tracy?
I have. I hated it.
You did not like Dick Tracy?
I didn't like. I forgot it promptly.
Wow. Dick Tracy it was supposed to be the, in the flavor of Batman,
Yeah,
the Tim Burton
yeah.
world,
That's
a
what it
comic
was.
book
I
character.
remember being very disappointed with it.
Lots of colors, lots of
Black and
scenery.
white,
Almost looks like a Tim Burton
like a
film in a
noir.
way.
Yeah.
Noir, but has cartoony colors.
Right.
Everything's super splashy, colorful. I think the movie is charming. I rewatched it
Warren Beatty.
earlier
That's who
this
it is.
year. Love it. Warren Beatty does a good Dick Tracy. Madonna is, I can't remember, the seductress, and I can't believe this movie was rated PG because, or is it PG-13?
It had to be PG-13. I thought it was R almost.
Well,
Even.
I mean, she reveals herself, Madonna
What?
like. I mean, it's sheer. So I don't know how they got away with that with the first, because I
It's
remember
rated PG
it's rated PG,
in
and
1990.
you can see right through Madonna's top.
Man,
You can see right through it, and I didn't know you could.
wow.
And I realized, and one of the things she's wearing something very revealing. I'm going, I don't remember this, and I was young, and I would have remembered it. So I'm like, whoa, maybe that's on the DVD. I don't know, but it was just one scene where she kind of appears, and she's
wait
in
a
a
minute.
see-through top almost.
Pacino was in this movie,
Yes, he was.
and as who?
And Pacino's the bad guy. He just got so much makeup on, you didn't realize it was Pacino.
I guess
He's the big villain, and he does a great
who's the big
job.
villain?
Now you got me. I can't remember now. I can't remember his name. I didn't write the character down. It's his. I can't remember. Whoever the big villain is. Are you looking up?
I'm looking at it right now. I don't know if I'm calling you out or not.
Well, look at Al
but-
Pacino's character and then find out who it was. But I mean, I forgot that he was in this,
All right.
and he's on here, isn't he? Hold on. I know it's him.
Okay. He's got so much makeup on, you might have not caught the fact that it's not.
No, because it sounds like him. Because when he starts singing, there is Big Boy Caprice.
Okay.
He's Big
Woo!
Boy Caprice,
Went through a scare.
and he's great. I didn't realize it was him until he started singing everything. But he's corny. He's over the top, but he's great for just a villain. And he's trying to teach Madonna how to do her number. So he gets up there and starts doing her little number dance. 1 and 2 and
He's got some great, like Dustin Hoffman and Kathy
Dustin
Bates
Hoffman
in
is
this.
great in it. Yeah. He got a lot of stars at the time to come in, put a lot of makeup on.
Andy Patinkin is in this.
Yeah, there's a lot of great characters in it. And I don't know, you may want to rewatch it. I love the look of it. I love the flow of it. It's so much fun. I remember loving it as a kid. And I said, I wonder if that movie holds up. And it does.
Really?
It does. It's
Okay.
a really fun movie.
Okay.
My brother just recently bought it on DVD. He's like, should I get this? I went, yeah. He found it for $5, free shipping. He said, all right. And he
Wow.
brought it. He enjoyed it too. So, number 2, I don't recall. I think this may have been on my top 5 Johnny Depp movies now that I think about it. But Donnie Brasco.
Donnie Brasco.
I loved it because of Johnny Depp, but I absolutely adore it because of Al Pacino. He probably was a better character too. Al Pacino plays the mook who the FBI is kind of playing and juicing information out of, but he doesn't realize it. He just becomes friends with Johnny Depp's character. Then later on, he's going to be somebody big. He's going to be somebody big, but the Al Pacino's character isn't. Well, then later on, even though he defends Johnny Depp for not being the FBI, he later on finds out it is, and his heart gets broken, because that was his best friend. That was a guy who was with him in the slums.
Okay.
That was someone who was going to support him when he made it big. But Al Pacino's character was never going to make it big.
No.
He's always a bottom feeder. He was always going to be one, but now he feels like a chump because he's been used, and now he realizes, I am a chump. I am a bum. I am all this stuff. I mean, it's really sad.
It's heartbreaking.
I mean, it is heartbreaking, and it's a great performance by Pacino. And if you like Johnny Depp, if you like Pacino, there you go. That's the movie all in one. If you like Johnny Depp, you can watch it for Johnny Depp. It's got a great. I mean, I just love the drama in it. I love, like I said, you kind of know how it's going to end, but you really like Al Pacino's character. Usually it's a different role because usually he's the top dog. He's in charge.
Well, he's top billing on the movie.
And he is top billing on the movie, but he's the underling. He plays the underling, the guy who's kind of the wash up, the loser, the nobody.
So you're saying the movie's really about Johnny Depp? Like that's the star.
They're both stars, but because Johnny Depp's infiltrating the group and using Al Pacino's character to get information.
Okay.
So Al Pacino brought him in, and now
So it ends
he
badly, I'm
betrays.
guessing, for Pacino.
Yeah.
And you can see all of it in his acting.
Yes, and when the curtains pull back, he finds out what's going on. It just rips his heart out, and he realizes I'm an idiot. I am what everyone says. I'm a smuck. I'm a
Wow.
what? Because y'all play me for a patsy. I guess I'm nothing. And you just really feel bad. really feel bad because he didn't ever get his break. He didn't ever get his break.
Hmm.
And then number one is classic. I can't believe you've never seen The Godfather. I cannot believe it. That is
Truthfully,
where he truly shines.
I have never seen The Godfather. I will admit that on recording, and I think a big part of it is the same because you and I fairly recently talked about Hamilton on your nightcap
Yeah.
video, and I had said I'm going to watch it tomorrow. Don't give anything away, and I did, and I felt almost precisely the same way that you had mentioned to me before. Is that it was good. I enjoyed it. The King's amazing.
Yeah.
It wasn't the second coming of Christ.
It was not.
Just another good musical.
Yeah.
It was a good musical. There's
Yep.
no denying it. It is not the greatest thing.
It would not be
ever.
in my top 5.
No, I mean,
It's good.
It's
I
wonderful.
enjoyed it. I'm glad I got
And
to see
I
it.
hope we get to see tons and tons more women and minorities. And I hope I'm glad that Hamilton made a shit ton of money just for that alone. Like, just let that be successful. I just give them all
I'm happy
money.
with its success.
But let's do a little better with like
it got overly hyped.
It did get overly hyped,
and it wasn't as good as everyone was saying it's no Les Mis.
Yeah,
it's no
like,
whatever.
Here's sliced bread.
I mean, even
Hamilton.
Wicked. Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, oh wow, this is a solid movie.
Exactly the same.
I mean, this is a solid show.
Solid show.
This lives up to the hype.
For my birthday, and it came into town, and I got to see it on my birthday. That's when that showed up when I was living in Oregon. So I got to see it in Portland and big stage and big production and everything. I was like, okay, that was fun. I don't see why it was the most gigantic thing in the world. Because at the time, Wicked was like it was the same. It was like $200-$300 tickets that were sold out forever.
Right.
And I'm like,
it's good. It's good.
Which I did not pay that for Wicked when I saw
I know.
birthday.
But and I understand why people I get that. I get why people like Hamilton too. I actually enjoyed
Some
Wicked.
people like The Greatest Showman. So, I mean.
I'm telling you. But anyway, well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. I'm sorry you didn't like Al Pacino.
Look, the other thing, I'm sorry. The thing
That's fine.
No, I loved it. I love this
That's
conversation. But the thing is that with The Godfather, it's the same as Hamilton. I was waiting to watch it with theater people, and I did. I watched it with people who appreciate theater. I've never had the opportunity to sit down and watch a gangster movie with somebody who not necessarily just a gangster movie, but supposedly one of the best movies ever made. It
really is.
I want to watch it for the first time ever with a film person or somebody who's a huge fan.
Well, we'll have to watch them.
The same reason I've asked to watch Star Wars with you is I want to watch it with somebody who really appreciates it.
Part 1 is great. Part 2 is great. Part 3 is a step down. I disagree with people when they say Part 3 should never been made. I enjoyed it. It's the end of his character.
Yeah.
And Al Pacino does good. Some of the choices that Francis Ford Coppola made weren't the best. Like putting his own daughter in it, who could not act, was really bad. And forcing scenes with his daughter in there
Sophia?
was bad. That was all bad.
Okay.
But if you wash that out of your head, the rest of it's pretty good. In fact, the ending is actually really awesome. I really actually loved it.
Sort of like Karate Kid 3.
I'm glad we got to see it. Well, Karate Kid 3, but for different reasons. I wasn't laughing as much. But yes, Godfather 3 is a step down.
Okay.
It's a step down, but it's still worth your time because it wraps up the storyline to where you're satisfied.
Right on.
You're satisfied. It doesn't have the feel because it was so far apart, made in between 2 and 3, but that was also done on purpose because they wanted to see an older Al Pacino
3
character.
was 1990.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a big jump from.
So that's almost 20 years.
72.
Yeah, the other first 2 films. Yeah. Wow. But I mean, I think that was done on purpose because they wanted to see him as an older character. So either way, there he is. There's my top 5. All right. Hey, we'll be back next week.
We will be back
with an actor that Benjamin likes. On Saturday
the actors
morning, Samoflange!